Looks like I'm live, folks. I decided to do a live stream on Jungle Joe C today. And if you're in there, swing by and say hi. Happy Valentine's Day. I better write that here. Happy Valentine's Day to all. And we may have some people in there that are kicking around because it's probably cold everywhere else in Canada and you're probably inside on the internet. So Wendy and I just got in from a walk. As you can see, I just uploaded a video of a snowman crossing on this channel. And we have a snow day here. It is a snowfall warning in effect. The snow is coming down good. They're pretty big flakes now. Temperature is 1.3 degrees Celsius currently. So a trade on that mark where it's going to be wet, ugly snow sticking to everything. So thank goodness we had those eucalyptus trees cut down. And I was just out there when I got in from the walk. I took my pole pruners, pole saw, and I cut another couple of big branches off that they didn't miss. They were ukes we had cut about 5 years ago with a bucket truck. They were 60 footers, and they start to regrow back. So I cut some. I just cut some more branches off. So, and then in the spring, I'm going to cut these tall ones out here myself. They're not very big though. They're about like this. So I'm just going to cut them down to size so they're a little shorter, and we don't have to worry about them towering over the house and crashing down on the house. So hope everybody's having a good Valentine's Day out there. I'm not going to make this a super long live stream because Wendy has to do a FaceTime with a friend of ours in Washington State at 12 p.m. So current time here is, let's see, what does the watch say? It's 11:23 a.m. 11:23 a.m. And like I say, it is snowing. The plow just went by for the second time. And tonight is supposed to turn to rain. But when it's all said and done, we're going to have a lot of it. A lot of this white stuff sticking around until the rain washes it away. So we're back to seasonal temperatures next week. Thank goodness. And tomorrow is a holiday. It's Family Day long weekend here in Canada. So we're enjoying a long weekend. I'm glad I don't have to drive to work. And I didn't get called in. I thought I'd have to get called in to plow some snow, but that didn't happen. So remember, folks, the draw is the last Saturday of every month, the YouTube draw. So if your name is in this, you have a chance of winning something, and we will send it to you. The last winner was Logan in Kentucky, and hopefully he's got his package now. I'm sure hoping it made it there by now. It's very slow right now, the mail, because of everything going on, as you know. And it even says that on the front of the post office. Things are going to take longer to get to where they're going. So, and somebody was asking me, they messaged me if they asked if I would ship palm seedlings to UK. Yes, I do ship palm seedlings to UK, but I do not ship any palm seedlings in the wintertime, okay? That is a no-no. So if you see palm seedlings for sale on eBay in the wintertime, I advise you not to buy them, all right? Somebody posted a picture a couple of days ago on People Who Love Palm Trees. I think it was on People Who Love Palm Trees on Facebook, of a Sable Minor palm. He ordered a mail order, and he got it, and it looked like it had been frozen during transit. Definitely was frozen for sure. And that's why you do not ship palm trees in the wintertime. I learned my lesson years ago when I shipped a container of Trachycarpus palms, bare root, 1 gallon size, to Mike Page in Montreal. And I think there was 20 of them or 24 of them. It was a big box of them. And when he got them, they were all frozen. So when I shipped them from here, the temperature was perfectly fine. It was around 8 degrees Celsius. And when they got there, anyway, when they went by truck, they go by postal truck, big truck, freight truck, go across the prairies. It was probably minus 20 all the way through the prairies. And then when they got to Montreal, it was around minus 6 or 7 there. And they froze. They were frozen dead when he got them. So I will never, ever ship live palm trees in the winter time again after that incident. So I start to ship live palm seedlings usually beginning of April. Seeds I will ship year round. If you want seeds, I do have seeds, but those are fine. They can take a lot more of a freeze than a bare root palm tree. So during this Polar Express event we've had here on Salt Spring Island, the coldest temperature, like I say, was minus 2.4 degrees Celsius. We didn't have any cold outflow winds. I was looking at the Livistona today. It's growing beside the house. It's perfectly fine. There will be no damage in our garden. And somebody in Michigan was saying, "Oh, Joe, you should cover this, you should cover that." And you're going to have this damage and that. I'm not going to have any damage. I've gardened in this area for 3 decades at this location. I know the climate well. I know if there's going to be damage, and I can basically tell if it's going to be a really bad winter. So a really bad cold snap. And they were forecasting a lot worse than what it turned out to be. And I didn't think it was going to be that bad. Hey, Palms USA. So it really is just more of a snow event than anything. And it is snowing here right now. I hear Canada geese flying by out there. And anyway, yeah, we had 4 inches of snow yesterday, and then it stopped and the sun came out. And then when I woke up this morning, it is, there's still some light. Actually, you know what? It has slowed down a bit. There is snow coming down, and we are under a snowfall warning right now for the Southern Gulf Islands. But temperatures are on the rise. It is just over 1 degree Celsius here right now. It's like 1.3 degrees Celsius. So not too bad. But the problem is it makes for wet, sticky snow, and it sticks to everything. And somebody else asked me, do I brush my palm trees off? No, I don't. I don't bother brushing the snow off the palm trees. It'll just come off itself. Joe, I found some huge trackies enriched and covered in snow. Oh, cool. So they got snow over there too, eh? Wow. Yeah, I saw your video you shot. That's crazy. I guess it's really cold in the south too. Apparently Dallas is supposed to get hit hard with a deep freeze, huh? And apparently down into the single digits, which does happen. It has happened in Dallas before a long time ago, but they are subject to ice storms and freezes in Dallas. Lots of snow in Richmond. Yeah, we got 4 inches here, Palms USA. 4 inches on the ground here, and there's a little bit more that's just a tiny little bit that accumulated since this morning. But current time here is just around 11:30. And I have to cut this live stream off before noon because Wendy is going to be FaceTiming with our friend Justin in Olympia, Washington. He just moved to Olympia from Baltimore in June. He's a good friend of ours. We meet up with Justin every year on Maui. And now he's closer to Maui because he moved to Olympia, Washington, which is just south here. Here in North Greece, 21 palms under snow. And, wow, that's crazy, eh? In Greece. I mean, it can get cold in Greece too every so often. So yeah, so we're above freezing here. Like I say, 1.3 degrees Celsius, absolute pot plant lover, but snowing. We do have some snow coming down, and it's wet snow. So on our walk today, I made sure to make a lot of snowmen. I made a lot of snowmen and placed them along the side of the road. I put 2 snowmen in the middle of the road, and I shot a video of it, and I put it on here. And it's funny just to see people driving by these little snowmen in the middle of the road. They're just little snowmen. I made 6 snowmen on our walk today. It was kind of funny. So you can see one on the video I shot here. I titled it "Caution: Snowman Crossing in Canada." So, but really, this Polar Express bad weather event that we had here really wasn't that bad if you look at the temperatures. See, when I look at when I see it, when it's a bad winter, I look at temperatures and not snow. Okay, a lot of people look at snow. Oh man, it must be really cold there with snow. Well, it doesn't mean it's that cold when you have snow. Happy Valentine's Day to you too, Palms USA. Yeah, it is Valentine's Day, and tomorrow is a statutory holiday here in Canada. It's called Family Day, so I don't work tomorrow either. Yes, it's cold in Greece on the other hand. Yeah, see, in Crete it'd be 16, and it's like some of the islands off the west coast of Vancouver Island are probably 3 degrees Celsius right now. Could be 4 degrees Celsius right now. It just depends where you are on the coast. But like I say, we're sitting at 1.3 here at this location. I know the outer islands were down to -4. Our lowest temperature was -2.4 degrees Celsius. President's Day tomorrow. Okay, so you guys got a holiday too. That's right. So generally when we have one, you guys have one too. Yeah, so it's a family day here. And so it's another day off, and it's just like this. The snow has really put a damper on what I need to do. Like I said yesterday, I got a mountain of eucalyptus wood to split out there and haul up to the back firewood pile, and I just can't do it in the snow. It's covered in snow. It's really annoying. And like I said, I had a lot of stuff planned for this weekend, and now I got to do it next weekend. So my axe is sharpened and ready to go. My chainsaw is sharpened, ready to go, because I do have a lot of. I got a big slash pile I got to clean up too, because they dumped the big eucalyptus tree and cedar tree at the back of the house, and it fell across the fence line. So when I got home from work Friday, I actually had to clear the fence line because the wire fence, the deer fence, was buried in eucalyptus and strawberry trees because they cut down our big strawberry trees, which will come back. And they also cut down a huge cedar tree, which we didn't like. So anyway, I cleaned up the fence line. I actually got the deer fence back up, and now I got a big pile of stuff Wendy and I have to burn. Hello, Camel. How's it going down there in South Carolina? I was telling everybody there we have a snow day here on Salt Spring Island in the Southern Gulf Islands. So it is a snowy day here, and mild, still below normal. I mean, it's mild compared to the rest of Canada. So did you kick the drop? The B&B guest is actually out today, and he's here for a month because he's working here. He works on hydro poles, and he works for Hydro. And what they do, he's on contract work, and he goes around the province, and they test poles for rot, and then he puts a solution in them to preserve them. So he left this morning, and he's out in the snow doing telephone poles. So it was messing up my live stream yesterday, and it messes up my uploads and everything. And the B&B guests that were supposed to check in yesterday to our other B&B canceled because it's just too snowy. They're coming from, I thought the other island, they're coming from Victoria. But yeah, he's out working, which is good. So I can talk loud and I can use the internet right now perfectly. And like I say, Wendy's going to be doing a FaceTime with our friend in Olympia, Washington at high noon. And we meet him in Maui. We meet him on Maui every single year, except for 2020, because we weren't there, and except for, and also 2021. 2021, it doesn't look like we will be going to Maui because there's new restrictions on air travel and the quarantine thing. It's just BS, man. So the thing is, if we go to Maui in November like we planned, when we come back, we have to stay in a hotel for a few days at our expense extra, and then you have to have one of those tests, right? And then you have to quarantine for 2 weeks. It's just ridiculous. So anyway, it kind of sucks what's going on right now, and I'm missing Maui. Temp should be back in the mid 60s. Won't get colder than. Oh, that's not bad. 40. That's not cold. That's not cold at all. Yeah, our coldest temperature was minus 2.4. Hello, Jane. Aloha. Thinking of Hawaii. I was watching a Hawaii video the other day. Oh man, how I would love to be in Hawaii right now. That would be just awesome. Jane, I envy you. It's probably let's see. In Hawaii right now, it's about well, they're 2 hours behind us. So it's about 80 something degrees there. Right, Jane? I'm guessing it's probably about 84 degrees in Hawaii right now. At least that, in the 80s. Oh, just perfect. Jane, you're lucky. And we have snow falling here on Salt Spring Island, and it is cool and it's wintry. It feels like what? Yeah, so you know our normals for this time of the year, Camel. Our normals would be about 48. Just a minute. 48 degrees. 48 degrees Fahrenheit would be our high, and our low should be probably around 38 or 39. Yeah. So that's what we should be. It's way below normal here. So we'll be back to near normal temperatures next week. So our high temperature should be just under 50 degrees Fahrenheit for daytime highs at this time of the year, and high 30s for lows. That's what it is in this part of Canada. What's your opinion about the Butia plant? Not as hardy, absolute plant lover, not as hardy as Jubea. I think Butia are actually pretty overrated and pretty useless when it comes to extreme cold weather. They're very prone to losing their center spears. Raining. Yeah, we'll get rain next week, Camel. So Butia, after a bad cold snap, they are, like I say, prone to center spear loss. And that's why it's good to probably pour some hydrogen peroxide or copper sulfate in the center. Not as hardy as they claim they are. Up this way, they're a long-term Zone 9A palm, and I've seen many of them die in Zone 8B. Matter of fact, even the ones in Vancouver in 2008, they all died if they weren't protected. I would say it might be slightly, Jane, slightly, because maybe a degree, because Grace Point is on a very, very narrow strip of land, okay? Extremely narrow, and it juts out into the ocean. And where I live on the north end of the island, actually, I could probably show you on a map here, Jane. Where I live on the island, it is very narrow as well, but not as narrow as Grace Point. So let's just see here. If I can find Grace Point. Grace Point is almost like an island. Okay, so I've showed you before, but I'm way up here on the north end of the island, right there. I'm right about there. And you can see how narrow that is, right? And Grace Point, see these islands out here? Grace Point it's almost like an island, but it's not, and because it juts out so far into the ocean and it's skinny. So it's extremely mild out there at Grace Point. And it's amazing what grows out there. I've never seen camarops damaged. There's crinodendron growing out there. Acacia trees and Phoenix canariensis lived there. Acacia baeliana survived there for 10 years before getting killed in 2008, December. There was a Phoenix palm out there along the boardwalk, and it froze in December 2008, and it was never protected. So it's a very good microclimate at Grace Point. But there are milder or as mild areas as Grace Point on Salt Spring Island, lots of them. We haven't had any frost or freeze in the last 2 weeks. That's a very good sign, Camel. We've had a few freezes here now, that's for sure, with this Polar Express, but still nothing to worry about. So we had I think we had 2 light frosts in December, and I will tell you how many freezes we've had below zero. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4. We've had 4 days this year below zero. Okay, that's how many days we've had in 2021 below zero. 0 degrees Celsius, I'm talking. Okay, the coldest temperature I've recorded here this entire winter is minus 2.4 degrees Celsius. The melanoxylon, I think, was damaged, and it did come back, but the baeliana did not, because the melanoxylon was there before 2008. So it was, I believe, damaged. If I remember, it did have a lot of damage on it, but it did come back again. But those wattles, the baeliana, Acacia baeliana ortopurpurea, they had purple tips on them. They froze out. They were gone, and they were beautiful. I got photos of them. They're amazing. Is your place go visit? We haven't had. Was the melanoxylon? Yeah. So anyway, Tuesday I'll be back at work, and if I'm out at Grace Point, I'll take some pictures. But it'll be raining. Hello, Max. How's it going? How's the weather out there? Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I hope everybody is having a good Valentine's Day. I got Wendy a bunch of chocolates. We're not really big on Valentine's Day because I do buy flowers for Wendy year round, not just on one day of the year. Valentine's Day for Wendy is like year round. I buy fresh flowers. Maybe Koa, maybe Jane. And it's, the thing is, I haven't seen any koa wood seeds on eBay yet. So I am searching, and maybe when I go to Hawaii next time, I don't know when that's going to be. I can maybe sneak some koa wood seeds back, or actually not sneak, sorry, I will mail them back. Mailing them back is better than sneaking them back because they like to check my pockets. And you know what? Like I said, last time they checked my pockets, they took all my seeds away. And that really sucked because Wendy and I shucked a whole bunch of seeds. We dehusked Woodicia bifurcata. So we had foxtails, we had livistona, we had vicia, we had pritchardia, we had Washington. We had a ton of different seeds, Siagris, and they took them all away from me. Koa can resprout from the roots. Oh, it's kind of like Jane. It's kind of like eucalyptus. So the big eucalyptus tree they cut at the back of the house, they cut it right down. They coppiced it to a stump about this high. And unfortunately, they cut right through a palm tree. I was really upset about that. I can't even watch that. Watch the video on Wendy's channel on Gulf Island Rock. She uploaded it yesterday. They cut one of my palm trees in half, and I wish they would have left a little bit bigger stump of the eucalyptus. They cut it right down to the ground, and they went right through the palm tree too. We had 10 frosts in January for free. Yeah, we didn't have any. I don't think we had any frost here in January. I will tell you right now, in my trusty weather book, we weren't below freezing at all. No, January was really mild here. I'll tell you the coldest temperature we had in January. I see a 3.9 there. I think the coldest temperature, 3.2. Oh, sorry, we did actually have we had a minus 0.6 on the 23rd. So that's right. That was the coldest temperature we had right there. Minus 0.6 on the 23rd of January. So we did have one. We had one frost in January. but it wasn't enough to nuke the banana leaves. Yes, I'm right beside the ocean here. It is about 900 feet from the Pacific Ocean on that side, and it's about maybe less than 3/4 of a mile to the ocean on that side. So, like I say, it's narrow up here, and there's lots of Pacific Ocean around us, and not much land. And because the ocean is like a heat bank, it regulates the air temperature. So, as you drive south on Salt Spring Island, and you get down into the south end of the island where it's about 9 miles across, and you get into the middle of the island there, it's a completely different story, man. It's like a night and day different. And you can really feel it too. Like I say, when I'm riding my motorcycle around, I can feel all the hottest spots and the coolest spots in summer. And the coolest spots in summer are the mildest spots in winter. The hottest spots in summer are the coldest spots in winter, because the hottest spots in summer are farthest from the ocean. Did you know that? And man, do I feel it on my bike, I'll tell you. Although there is one hot spot on St. Mary's Lake that isn't necessarily that cool in winter, and that's where they actually have the commercial fig farm. And there's a lot of palm trees growing on St. Mary Lake, but it is still in from the ocean, and it is the biggest lake on our island. We have 11 lakes here, so I'm still 100 miles away. Oh, you're 100 miles from the ocean. Okay, cool. Max, I got lucky. All my palms have survived the cold week. Centimeters, lowest temperature, minus 15.8. Wow. Wow. That's pretty cold. Well, hopefully, hopefully everything will do well. That's a pretty cold temperature, minus 15.8 degrees Celsius. Hopefully you didn't have any wind with that. When you have wind with it, it makes it feel a lot colder. It doesn't necessarily, it's not bringing the actual temperature on the thermometer down, but the wind chill makes it feel colder. 3 hour drive. Yeah. So that's like us from Seattle. We're about 103 miles north of Southern Gulf Islands, are about 103 miles as the crow flies north by northwest of Seattle. And we can see the city lights of Seattle from the mountains on the south end. If the top of the koa tree is killed by bad frost, it may resprout. So I need to get a koa tree, Jane. I need to get one. And I am determined to try a koa tree here for Jane, and then I can do a video on it, and you will see if it survived. You know, years ago, I tried a bunch of jacaranda mimosifolia. I grew them from seed. I grew like a whack load of them from seed. I grew them at the nursery where I used to work. We brought in a ton of seed, and I sold a bunch of them. They're not hardy here. I put a bunch of them to test. And matter of fact, in the damp, cool, late fall, early winter, they all started to get botrytis on them, mold from the damp and coolness. They absolutely hated the late fall here and early winter. And it wasn't even really that cold. So jacaranda does not work this far north. Bougainvillea does not work this far north. I've tried that too. Bougainvillea is absolutely useless here. Passion vine works good. Lots of different vines work really well here. A really nice vine we grow is Clematis armandi, snowdrift, and apple blossom. And Wendy's, I think, is actually budded up. I think she's got 3 of them. She does have 3 of them, I think. And yeah, they're growing really fast. And very fragrant flowers, and nice because it's an evergreen too. So koa from Seme, I think, Jane, it probably would, because at 7,000 foot on the slopes of Mauna Loa or Mauna Kea. Is it Mauna Loa or Mauna Kea? One of them. It gets pretty cold up there, and I'm sure they do see minus temperatures every so often. Correct? I'm guessing what, -2, -3, and I think the coldest temperature ever recorded up there is probably like something like 9 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that in I think it was in May 1979. I think it hit around 9 degrees Fahrenheit. Somebody can look that up for me. What is the coldest temperature ever recorded in Hawaii? And I think on the mountain of Mauna Loa or Mauna Kea, it was May 79. They were 9 degrees Fahrenheit, which is really cold. That's colder than -12 degrees Celsius. I've never seen -12 degrees Celsius here. It's really interesting. There's a guy that has a palm nursery at Cherry Point. So if you go to the south end of Salt Spring, and then you go across to Vancouver Island, there's a place called Cherry Point. He said he had -7 degrees Celsius in November, which I find hard to believe because we haven't even had frost here then. How many years do you believe the whole forest you throw seeds? Absolutely. In how many years do you believe the whole forest you throw seeds turn in? Well, it's kind of turning that way now, but I mean, they're not super big. Some of them are as tall as me now, the ones that I put in there years ago. But you know, it may take another 20 years You know what I mean? Before they actually start looking like something really big, right? And you got to remember, there's a lot of competition, absolute palm lover, with other trees around, and they are in the shade. So you have to take in those factors, and they are growing in extremely wet soil, which amazes me that those things can survive. I shot a video the other day, and I put it on my other channel, Swampsonii in the snow, so you can check it out. Max, after February, I'm getting spring weather hit. Oh, there you go. There you go. We get 30 degrees hotter. That's awesome. You got to like that. Yeah, I think our winter should be done tomorrow. We'll be getting back to normal temperatures. I saw the dog. Oh yeah, GD, you see that? See the little dog barking at the car there? That was so funny. So when we walk down that road, there's normally not a car parked there, but because those people live, their driveways are steep and they're right on the ocean. That car right down in the forest there is the ocean. So they don't want to drive up the steep driveway in the snow, so they park it on the side of the road. Our little dog is not used to that. He saw something out of the ordinary, and that's why it freaked him out. 6,000, 9A, 9B, 6,000, maybe 9A. Oh, wow. 3-degree difference between. Okay. So it probably doesn't get that cold there, Jane. But here we are a northern zone 9A, and they will probably maybe have a chance here. Every 1,000 feet is 3 degrees cooler. Interesting. Yeah, that's the way it works. Right. I'm throwing tracking. Good for you, absolute palm lover. And they will work very well there in Greece. There are palms growing in our forest too. Like I'm talking about some of the forested parks because I've chucked seed there before, and there are palms growing in there as well. But unfortunately, what happens? You get these native plant people and invasive species plant people that go in there every so often, and if it doesn't look normal and it doesn't look native, they will cut it down. They do that. There's a lot of Portuguese laurel and English laurel trees growing in the forest. You're 560, Camel. Okay, we're about, I think we're 160 here, 160 feet above sea level. It's, we're like this, goes down to the ocean. So it goes down to the ocean. Our house is here, right? So it's all sloping away from us, everything, and even down into the ravine, right? The ravine's quite a bit lower. Sometime I'll do a video and you can see how deep the ravine is. You can actually really get a good view of it now that the big eucalyptus and the cedar tree and strawberry trees are gone on the south side of the house. The cold air drains away from us, and that's why I did pick this property too. So our house here, and it's like this. It's all stepped, our property. It's all tiered, and it goes down, all the way down. And into the ravine, it's like this, all sloped. So the cold air just drains right down. I actually have a Stevens. So here's our house here. I have a Stevenson screen down near the bottom of that slope in the exotic garden, and it's always a lot cooler down there. And then I also have one in our upper garden. It's quite a bit milder up there. It's amazing the difference in temperatures. So cold air is like water, and it rolls down. It rolls down hills, right, and sits in low spots. I have a question, Max. 1.5 week ago, my musabaju for hard frost. I'd wait till spring. Wait till spring, Max. That's a good time to plant musabaju. When the ground is warm, generally. So when you think you can plant some warm weather vegetable crops, that's probably a good time to plant your musabaju. And most people here, when they start planting warm weather vegetable crops, is just in the beginning of May. So once you get into the beginning of May, it's usually warm enough to put your warm weather veggie crops in. So do that just to be safe. When the soil's warmed up a little bit, our musabaju are fine. It hasn't been cold enough to do anything, and I do have the trunks wrapped on them. The leaves were green until Thursday, and then Friday came, it got a little colder, and the leaves are now nuked. So that's okay. The canes are all protected. And I'm just glad that that big eucalyptus tree that those guys dropped there did not crush more stuff. It just grazed our China fir, our Cunninghamiana glauca. We have a China fir there. It broke one small branch off, and it's not very tall. And it missed, like I said, it missed the needle palms. It missed our Syagris cross butea, which looks totally perfect. I put a plastic bag over it. It looks awesome. And there will be no winter damage in our garden. There would have been a lot more if that eucalyptus wasn't cut at the back, because that thing's so prone to dropping branches. The last snow we had it was December 20th, I think it was, wet, heavy snow. Some big branches came off and just trashed so much stuff. And it also took down that 75-foot eucalyptus tree in the front. So that was the start of it. Wendy says, that's it. They got to go. So she called their arborist and made an appointment. They came over, And to cut all those trees down is probably going to cost about $3,000. No lie. I bet you it's about close to $3,000 to get that. We got, I think we got a dozen trees cut, and most of them eucalyptus trees. All right, 10 were eucalyptus, and two others were different trees. Okay, in your rocky soil, don't worry about koa growing late. Is that right, eh? Cool. Yeah, so it probably won't grow so fast here, Jane. And look, these eucalyptus trees are going to sprout back because some of the trunks they left are taller than me. All right, so some of them are about 7 feet, 8 feet tall. So you got big trunks on these ukes. I'll shoot a video of it when they start sprouting out in the spring. It's a really bad time to cut eucalyptus in the wintertime, especially if you're going to have a freeze. So with the biggest ones, I put bubble wrap just over top of the fresh wounds, just to protect from any frost from going in. But they will sprout out. They should sprout out like weeds. And if they don't, no big deal. I will carve tiki faces in them. All right. So the key now is to keep the eucalyptus trees smaller around our house. And it was my bad planting those things there a few decades ago. When I planted those eucalyptus trees, folks, they were tiny, tiny little eucalyptus trees I grew from seed. And they turned into these monster, towering 100-foot trees. And yeah, the branches are deadly, Jane. And it hangs right over our B&B, one of our B&Bs. And I've seen those things drop branches like this. And even in the summer, sometimes you get, or in the fall, you get a rain or something, a heavy rain and a little bit of wind, and a branch will break off and they come crashing down. They are deadly. So they're gone now. I don't have to worry about it. And yeah, I do miss looking at them. They were beautiful. I just wish I would have planted them farther away from our house. So we have a ton of eucalyptus trees. It's not like we don't have any eucalyptus trees. We do. That's why we have a lot on the property line too, Jane. Trust us. We have a lot of eucalyptus trees, and our property's huge. So along the front property line, the frontage is 330 feet, and we have eucalyptus trees growing along there. We have one more big one to get cut down. We have a 60-foot tall Eucalyptus perenniana to get cut down, but it's a really tricky one to cut at this point now. How are eucalyptus trees not extinct? They're definitely not extinct on Salt Spring. I'll tell you, there's tons of them here. We have in my street big eucalyptus tree begin this week. We have a big tree has broke all the branches, trunk stays. Yeah, they're dangerous, Max. Really dangerous trees. And big fire spreader in Australia. And how about California too? They're full of oil. So it takes over a year, maybe about a year and a half, to actually dry the wood before you can burn it in your wood stove. Did you know that? And eucalyptus is a hardwood. It burns really well. We heat our house with Douglas fir, balsam fir, and we have some maple and arbutus and eucalyptus. That's what we use. Yeah, they are not extinct. Yeah, they're very aggressive trees, and they can easily self-seed in warm climates. They do self-seed here on Salt Spring Island, only certain species. Snow gum self-seeds here, cider gum self-seeds here I've seen, perenniana and mountain gum I've seen self-seed. And they also survive fires too, Jane, exactly, and so does acacia. So they're the broadleaf evergreen. They are basically, yeah. But to me, they look nice. I mean, I love eucalyptus trees. Don't get me wrong. I think they're beautiful trees. There's about 700 or so different species of them. And I think some of the nicest ones we have are the eucalyptus shining gum, Eucalyptus nitens. We have some nice ones out on the property line. And every spring and summer, I just cut the tops off. They're thick. They're nice, thick, full trees. And I just noticed one of our parvula, which I'm going to cut, a small leaf gum, is kind of like it's tall and it bent over and it's leaning on one of our yuccas. So I'm going to be taking the chainsaw to that thing next weekend and cutting the top off of it. So yeah, anyway, they're full of oil like a cedar or a redwood, and they do burn well. And they do provide a lot of heat. They provide very hot heat when they burn, and the coals, the embers they'll last all night in the wood stove. So anyway, I'm a eucalyptus lover, but I will never ever, and that's a word of caution for anybody that wants to plant them. I see some of these guys in really cold climates because they really want to grow a eucalyptus tree, and they put them right up against their foundation. Well, that's a no-no too, because eucalyptus roots can crack your foundation. They have a lot of surface roots on them and big roots too. And like one of the eucalyptus trees growing in the corner of our park, right on the road in town, we gave it to the park in 1999 as a small eucalyptus archery, and the trunk is massive. You can't even wrap your arms around it now. But the roots have lifted up the concrete, cracked the curb, and lifted up the concrete sidewalk around it. They make a lot of mess, and they are messy trees too. They drop a lot of litter and bark, and like I say, branches and leaves. Yeah, you know which one I really like, Jane, is I love Eucalyptus deglupta rainbow gum. There's some beautiful ones in Honolulu Zoo, and I actually have videos of them. What's the biggest palm tree, not tallest? The biggest palm tree is Jubea chilensis. That's the widest, thickest palm tree, I believe, of any palm is the Jubea chilensis palm with a trunk that's 4 feet thick. There's some big ones in Torquay, southern England, that are about 4 feet thick. Got a buddy that went there about 20 years ago and took pictures of them standing. 4 guys. There's one, two, three. Was there 4 guys that are standing close up against the trunk? It was about 4 feet wide. Rainbow are the best. Not and yeah, they're beautiful. I love rainbow gum are just absolutely beautiful. But you probably know the ones in Honolulu Zoo, Jane. I do have YouTube videos of them here, and I think on my other channel of the Honolulu Zoo. I love the Honolulu Zoo. It's awesome. I also love Diamond Head Beach. I love to walk up to Diamond Head Beach. I love walking through the neighborhood of Diamond Head and looking at all the beautiful gardens there. It is so nice. I miss Hawaii. It makes me want to cry. I want to go back to Hawaii. And well, next month I am going to be we're going to be back on in Tofino. So stay tuned for a live stream. The internet in Tofino is so flippin' fast, guys. It's like this high-speed fiber optic internet. And like I said, when I'm uploading a video, by the time I finish putting in my tag words, it can be like a 5-minute long video, which I rarely shoot, but it'll already be uploaded, right? It'll already be uploaded by the time I put in my last tag word. It is awesome. Here I uploaded a couple-minute video and it took like an hour. It's just totally redunculous. I'm sick of this internet here, but the B&B guest is gone, and it seems to be streaming okay here on Jungle Joe C. So, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for coming, stopping by, and leaving your comments and just visiting while I do a live stream, because you guys are part of it too. And it's nice to see from people from all over the world. And I know some people are having great weather, and I know some people are having really crappy weather like us. It's still snowing good, man. It's still snowing good. Temperature 1.2 degrees Celsius out there right now. 1.2 degrees Celsius, the perfect recipe for wet, yucky snow that sticks to everything. But the only eucalyptus tree I'm really concerned about right now is the one that's hanging over our greenhouse. It's a 60-foot tall Perineana, and those guys did not want to touch it because they're worried about breaking the greenhouse. So I know one wild arborist that will climb the craziest trees, and he will probably take it down for me. And there's about 3 Perineana growing along that stretch of driveway that hang over our greenhouse. So I'm going to have to get those ones cut down too. So next weekend, folks, I have a whack load of eucalyptus wood to split, tons of firewood to split. All right. And it's going to be a busy weekend next weekend. And then the weekend after, I guess we'll be burning up our big pile. So anyway, it's high noon. Do you want to do your FaceTime? Okay, let me know if this interferes. What do you think is the most, Max? Beautiful palm species. Bismarckia is nice, and I also like talipot palms. They're really nice, but Bismarckia, and I really love them. I love the fan palm, the color of them from Madagascar. And there's another one too, and it looks like a Bismarckia. My mind is a blank right now. It's got silvery fronds on it. It looks really similar to a Bismarckia. Oh, I gotta get my palm encyclopedia. I'm just trying to think, and I think it's actually from Madagascar too. Can anybody think of the name of that palm? Oh man, it drives me. Bismarckia nobilis. Oh, and I have videos of them too. They're a really beautiful palm, folks. Help me out here. My mind has gone blank. They got big seeds on them. No, not brahia. I think it's native to Madagascar. We grow brahia here, and it's not that hardy. It looks like it would be hardy, but it's not. I'm looking in my palm encyclopedia. There's 2 growing in front of the fire hall in Kihei, Maui. And if you didn't know your palms and you know you only knew kind of brahia or brahia uh, God, Bismarckia, you'd think it's a Bismarckia. Not Brachardia. Oh, God. It drives me crazy here. I got to find it. Somebody's got to know the name of it. It looks very similar to Bismarckia. So it looks like Wendy's got on the FaceTime with our friend. That's good. My live stream's not screwing it up. I got to find it in here, folks. Lantania. That's it. Thanks, Jane. It's Lantania. And I just thought about it, too. Say hi to Justin. I'm going to find it in here. There it is, Lantania. Oh, actually, let's see. I'm going to say, so Wendy's doing a FaceTime. Hey, Justin, how's it going, buddy? Hang loose. I'm actually doing a live stream on YouTube right now, and Wendy's doing a FaceTime with our pal Justin in Olympia, right? Right. Is it snowing? Is it snowing there?
Yeah, it's kind of, we have like 8 inches of snow on the ground, and it's kind of snowing off and on still.
Sounds like Salt Spring. We got 4 inches of snow, and it's still snowing, but it's above freezing. The temperature is about 34 degrees, something like that.
Yeah, it's going to switch over to rain this afternoon.
Thank God. I'm missing Maui.
Are you going to shut down on there?
Okay. Okay, so I got to go talk. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shut down on here, guys. I got to go talk with my pal here. Can you see that live stream?
Oh, okay. Hold them up to the, I don't know.
Say hi to everybody out there.
Oh, you got to.
You can't see it. Yeah, you can't see that. It's my friend Justin.
See him.
Anyway, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
All right, guys.
Okay. Oh, there. Sorry.
Lantania. I just want to find out the Lantania is native to I thought it says Mascarene Islands. It's not Madagascar. My bad. And the seeds on it are absolutely huge. There is a Lantania palm. And at the Maui Tropical Plantation near Wailuku, there are Lantania palms in there, and there was so much seed, massive seed on them, like Bismarckia, even bigger. So Lantania is a very beautiful palm. So that's another one of my favorites, Max. So, another big palm, I'm just trying to think, is the Talipot palm is a big one too. Corypha. Corypha is a huge palm that flowers and dies. So once it flowers, it dies, right? So that's a really nice one too. Yeah. You guys know Lantania? Do you guys know that palm tree? I know Jane knows it. I don't know. Is there some? Yeah, there's probably some growing up at Lion Arboretum, Jane. And I don't know if there's any growing at Foster's Botanical Garden. Coconut palm has big seeds, but you know what? They're actually not called seeds. They're called drupes. Did you know that? A coconut seed fruit is called a drupe. Look that up. It is it's not, I don't believe it's a nut. It's called a drupe. Drupe, I think that's how you spell it. Google that one and see what it says. A lot of people think it's a nut, but it's actually called a drupe. And coconut palm is a beautiful palm too. And they are weeds on the Hawaiian Islands, but very tricky to grow anywhere out of the tropics. They are like exact conditions, lots of sunshine, lots of humidity, lots of, they like to be evenly moist, but they like lots of heat too, lots of heat, annual temperature of 20 degrees Celsius, right? So that's what they want. And I know Jane probably has lots of coconut palms around here because when you're in Hawaii, that's the first thing you see at the airport. The plane lands at Honolulu, and you see the swaying coconut palms, and you can see some date palms, some Phoenix sylvestris in the distance. It's just like, oh, I've been to Honolulu Airport many times. The only times I've been to Honolulu Airport, 40 times now. I've been to Honolulu Airport 40 times. And I've been to Kahului Airport 12 times. Yeah, 12 times I've been to Kahului Airport. Maybe a little bit more. So I've been to Hawaii a lot of times. 40 times meaning there and back, right? So 20 times there, and when leaving, that's another 20 times. Yeah, it's not a true seed, right? It's not a seed. That's right. It's a drupe. So a coconut palm has a drupe, folks. Remember that. The other palms have seeds on them, and a lot of palms have edible fruit too. You know, there's actually one palm They call it the ivory. I think that's what they call it, the ivory something palm. And it was at this botanical garden we went to at the this plantation up at Haiku Plantation. And there's this one palm that produces this fruit, and they use it as an ivory substitute, and you can carve it, and it looks like ivory. It's unbelievable. It's the fruit on it are massive. The seeds are like this, and it is a ivory substitute. It's I forget the name of the palm now. It's a really tropical palm, but there was a really nice one growing up in Haiku at the Maui, not the Maui plantation, Haiku Mills and Old Sugar Plantation. Jane probably knows that one too. We went into a store and they were selling stuff carved out of that seed, which was really cool. I am so looking forward to going back to Maui after this. After 2 years of being stuck here on this island, I'm going to be needing a vacation badly. My friends are there right now for 6 months. They just live down the road from us, but they got tons of money. So they stay there on Maui for 6 months. He's got 2 places over on Maui. And Maui's not a cheap place to buy a house. It's expensive. It's expensive here on Salt Spring, but it's more expensive on Maui. So that's the thing. Hawaiian Islands are not a cheap place to live. Any island living is expensive, folks. Anybody ever thinks about living on an island? Because everything has to be brought in by boat. To Hawaii, it comes in by barge and freighters and this and that. And on Salt Spring Island, everything here comes in by boat. Gasoline, propane, everything. Everything leaves the island by boat. Your mail, everything. That's why it is expensive to buy groceries and gas here. It's not a cheap place to live. So there you go. But it is a nice place to live. I do rather enjoy it. I should actually do a live stream with Wendy's iPhone when she's done talking with Justin, our friend Justin. Here in the Netherlands, the government will close the border. We can. Wow, they're closing it, eh? Yeah. Well, they're making it stricter too for land border here. So air border is strict. If I went to Hawaii right now, I'd have to have a test to make sure I'm free of you know what. And then coming back, I would have to go into a hotel and stay at my own expense for 3 extra days, get a test, and then quarantine for 2 weeks. It's not worth it. I hope your Livistone. Oh, it's totally fine, Fabian. It's not even damaged at all. I looked at it today. It's totally fine. We have 2 Livistonas. There's no damage on anything in the garden. It hasn't been cold enough here. The coldest temperature we had one morning when it dropped down to minus 2.4 degrees Celsius. That was the coldest temperature, minus 2.4 degrees Celsius. So zone 9A still at this end of the island. Okay, so on February 12th, the low temperature was minus 2.4 and the high temperature was 0.2. Yesterday, we were down to minus 1.8, high temperature 1.3. Every daytime temperature has been above freezing here, right? And coldest temperature, like I say, minus 2.4 degrees Celsius. Even our most tender plants are fine. Not a problem at all. Yeah, everything looks good. My 4-inch trachea pods have been frozen. That's a bad thing. If they're frozen solid, your trachees will die, unfortunately. I don't think water is going to help. It's if palms and pots are way less cold hardy. All of our potted palm trees outside in the nursery are healed in with leaves. I put leaves all around the pots so they can never ever freeze. But if a palm pot freezes solid, that is a really bad thing. You know, if it freezes, but if there's still a little bit in the core that never froze, then maybe it will be okay. But a 4-inch pot is a lot worse than a bigger pot. A bigger pot's going to take a lot longer to freeze, and it really depends on the temperature and the length of the freeze. 4-inch pot, I'm not too optimistic on that one. I'm going to say it doesn't look good. When they start to thaw out, they will shrivel up. So keep your eye on them. Watering wouldn't really do anything if they were frozen solid. Ugh. You should have healed them in. You should have put some leaves or sawdust around them. Fabian, we had minus 12 in Zurich, Switzerland. I bet you it wasn't that cold in Locarno or Lugano, though. I bet you it was a lot milder down there. The palmy places of Switzerland, Lugano and Locarno, Switzerland, are extremely palmy, folks. For those of you who've never been to Switzerland before and you want to see some beautiful palm trees, there are nice videos on YouTube of palm trees in Switzerland. And one guy did a whole series of them. So there's date palms there. There's Phoenix canariensis. There's Washingtonia. There's Brahia. There's Jubaeas. Brahia armata. You name it. Lots of Trachycarpus all over. There's oleanders. You name it, they grow it. Max, only working holiday good here, but yeah. I can't wait till all this crap is done, man. I'm so sick of it. I really am so sick of what's going on. Honestly, I'm going to tell you something, folks. I don't know anybody that has it. I don't know anybody that knows anybody that has it. And there's none of it on our island, okay? There's none of that C word on our, I don't even mention it because YouTube doesn't like when I mention it. And then I got to fill out extra stuff when I monetize my videos. So that's why I don't say the whole word. I just say the C word, okay? And there's been only 3 confirmed cases on our island since it all began. All right. So I don't know. And I don't want to talk too much about it because I have my opinion on it. But I think a lot of it's crap myself. Really, I do. So I'm sure it's out there, but I don't know, man. I think the media and the pharmaceutical companies blow things out of proportion. Hello, Camel. How's it going? Yeah, Wendy's actually doing a FaceTime with our friend in Olympia, Washington. And I really miss because we make sand art together. That's the dude we make sand art with, Justin. It's funny, we'd be sitting on the beach and Justin comes strolling down and we meet him on the beach and then we do sand art and we hang out on Maui for a month and Justin hangs out there for a few weeks and we do a lot of sand art together on Little Beach and it's a lot of fun. So maybe I'll stream for another 9 minutes and then I'll call her quits, folks. I can do a live stream tomorrow too. Tomorrow's Monday. I'm off. And wow, the snow is coming down. It is coming down big time. We're going to have a ton of snow. The most snow I've ever seen here is 28.5 inches, okay? 28.5 inches of snow. That's a lot of snow. So I don't know how much snow you guys have ever had, but 28.5 inches was a record in December 1996. The deepest it snowed since 1916. It was an 80-year record. And the low temperature that winter was around -7. I think it was around -7.2. It was cold. It was a cold one, December 1996. As for the sea thing, it depends. Yeah, exactly. And it depends on the people too. If you're super old, crispy, and you're probably you're on your deathbed anyway, it's going to wipe you out. But I know young people have got it too, and it has harmed them. But it is side effects. And a lot of times, 9 months later, people are still feeling the side effects of the sickness. I heard that on the news the other day. So really, I don't want to get it. Knock on wood. I'm a pretty healthy guy. You know what I mean? I take my vitamins. I work out 5 days a week. I don't smoke. I have the odd beer every so often. And that's about it. I breathe nice, fresh Salt Spring Island air every day. We're all going to croak, right? We're all going to croak. And yeah, we're not immune to it. Any one of us could get it, but some of us will get it worse than others. It's just like palm trees. Some palm trees are weaker than others of the same species. You could have 6 Chinese windmill palm trees growing along a walkway. You could have -15 degrees Celsius for 3 or 4 days. And half of those palm trees might get damaged or killed, and others might not even be phased. It's just like people, right? Some people are going to get sicker and they are weaker than others. That's just the way it is. It's still a bad thing. Yeah, we got to take precautions. Well, here, life goes on as usual, Camel, but everybody wears masks inside stores. So when you're inside a store or a restaurant, you have to wear a mask. Gemisectus. Oh, yeah, cool. I've heard of Gemisectus. That one I don't have. I'll tell you what we do grow. We grab Latticectus, Martianus, small tacheles, Manipure, Princeps, tiny Princeps, Wagnerianus, hybrids, and Fortunae. That's what we have here. I've tried Nanus before. They dried up in the summertime. So I got to try some Nanus again. Nanus is a very nice one. A very nice one. Yeah. So anyway, there's so many different species in the genus of Trachycarpus fortunae. I'm hoping these tachyle will sprout soon. The Wagnerianus I planted, I have pure 500. I have over 500 Trachycarpus wagnerianus seeds I sowed, and they're popping up like crazy right now. None of the tachyle seed, I got to look again, are sprouting. But yet my blue sable minor seed are growing like weeds. Do you know of any mango? No, I don't. I know there is a hardier mango, but there might be one that might be better in your area, but it will never work here. No mango will ever work in Canada. So none of these seeds are sprouting yet. And when did I sow them? I did put the date on it. January. I just put January 2021. The other part of the date wore off. I can't wait to see my first sprout in here. Nothing. Nada. Nothing at all. Trachycarpus tequil 0 has sprouted. And they're pure Trachycarpus tequil. Trachycarpus latisactus is a nice palm, but it's not that hardy. You will have to protect it in a cold winter. So I had one outside for, I guess, 3 winters, no problem, at the back of the house under the trees they cut down. But I dug it out because it was really stressed out. It was too dry there. So I may plant it somewhere else. So it's in the tiki hut in a pot. I do know of a 20-foot one growing near Vancouver in my friend's garden. It's about 20 feet tall, Trachycarpus latisactus. I do have a video of it. I think I have 2 videos of it here. Mangoes grow really good. Cool. Wow. So it shows you how mild Charleston is. If you can grow mangoes there, it is mild. So I would guess mangoes would grow in Southern California too, right? They would grow in Southern California. And where Jane lives in Hawaii, let me put my book back. Where Jane lives in Hawaii, we know mangoes are foolproof. The thing is with a mango tree, they grow so big, they need a lot of room. I like papaya trees. I really love the looks of a papaya tree. And I know that's another weedy tree in the tropics, right? And I love papaya. They're one of my favorite. Yeah, Charleston is weird. That's crazy. Eh? So there's a zone 9B probably pocket of Charleston, 9A, 9B maybe. I mean, when I look at it, it looks more 9B to me. Yeah, there's a hardy. Why is not full ground? Yeah, hardy. Minus 15 Celsius. Yeah, that's pretty nippy. That's pretty cold, Max. Maybe you know a lot about your. I wonder. I know lots. I know where palms grow in the world. Okay, so I'm never surprised when somebody tells me, "Well, you know, there's palm trees in Denmark." Yeah, I know that. There's palm trees growing in Norway. I know that. There are palms in Sweden. There are palm trees all the way up the coast of Scotland. There are palm trees down in the Falkland Islands because I have photos of them. There's palm trees in places you least expect, and I know where they grow because I've always been into palm, interested in different parts of the world where they grow. There are palm trees growing in the Ukraine, in Odessa. There are palm trees growing in southern Russia, right? You know what I mean? And yeah, there are palm trees here on the Pacific coast of Canada. And there are palm trees growing up in Virginia Beach. There are lots of palm trees growing in Arkansas. And I know there are some palms growing in New York too. I don't think Trachycarpus is actually long-term in New York. I think a bad winter would wipe them out. But I think I'm thinking not Trachycarpus. I'm thinking, well, actually, maybe around a building, around the inner core of New York, the big city. Maybe Trachycarpus fortunae might work because it's warmer there with the urban heat. But Sable minor rapidophyllum would be good. I know Trachycarpus palms seem to be almost foolproof in Washington D.C. I mean, there's some that have been in the ground for years and years, and they are big. And Palms USA has proven that with his videos. I need to go. I wish everyone a nice, happy Valentine's Day, Max. 9:20 there. The time here is 12:20 p.m. Pacific time. Current temperature 1.2 degrees Celsius still and snowing. All right, so I'm going to head off in another minute, and I'm going to wish everybody out there a great day, and I want you all to stay safe. And I'm going to do a chat with my buddy that's down in Olympia, Washington, and he's a good guy, Justin. He, like I say, he moved to Olympia, Washington last June, moved out from Baltimore, and we met Justin years ago on Maui. So we meet up with him every winter on Maui. But because of what's going on in the world, we skipped our Maui trip last year, and it looks like this year it will be another Maui-less winter. We will be here having a staycation on the Southern Gulf Islands. And that's not really a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing to be here on Salt Spring Island. If I had to be anywhere in Canada in winter, this is where you want to be, okay? You want to be on the Southern Gulf Islands, anywhere along the Pacific coast near the Pacific Ocean. That's where you want to be. Where the winters are mildest, yes, we can get snow, but I look outside at all the palm trees and the exotic plants, and that tells me one thing. It never gets cold enough here to kill those, right? So there you go. So anyway, folks, take care. Stay safe out there. And cheers and aloha to everyone. Thank you for joining in the live stream. Camel, who likes Coke, Max, Jane, Fabian. Salt Spring Island's a pretty cool place, Fabian. It really is. All the Southern Gulf Islands are really nice. We have Salt Spring is the biggest in the farthest southwest and west. We have Pender, South Pender, North Pender, Saturna, Maine, and Galliano, Prevost. So there's a group of islands in our chain here, and they're all very unique and very interesting. All right, folks, thank you very much. And I will see you tomorrow, or I might even do a live stream later on. Maybe I could get another live stream in before the B&B guest comes in and do it on my other channel. All right, so stay safe out there, everybody, and enjoy your weather wherever you are. We just got to enjoy what we have. No use in complaining about it because I can't do anything about that snow, just like I can't do anything about the gas prices, okay? I really can't. I know like people like to complain about the gas prices here, but our gas prices are for the cheap gas. Okay, let me figure this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25. It's about $5.40 a gallon here for cheap gas on Salt Spring Island, okay? The cheapest quality grade gas regular is about $5.40 a gallon, okay? So I don't complain about it. I just fill up my vehicle. My little Mazda B2300 truck is super easy on gas, all right? So absolute palm lovers, see you later, buddy. Take care. Stay safe out there. Jane, aloha. Fabian, Max, Palms USA, Palm Tree Dude, everybody else that's in there, Camel. Thanks for streaming with me on Jungle Joe C. And we'll see what video we can put on next. I just uploaded 2 videos to here, and I'll probably upload one to that one. And I'm going to go talk with my buddy over in Olympia, Washington, FaceTime. Cheers to you. Bye now.